Hello everybody, this is Crumbs018, hang on. Sorry, I had to adjust the camera a little bit. Anyway, this is going to be my thoughts on, which video should I do? You should know by the title, but, hang on. Which episode did I do last? Sorry, I'm checking what I've already uploaded. Okay. This is going to be my thoughts on My Hero Academia Season 3, Episode 14. Because after this, I've only got 11 episodes left. Anyway, I know I'm saying a lot, but I don't really write I don't plan out what I'm going to say, essentially. I just go on with, I just talk about what pops into my head, essentially. Anyway, this episode actually starts off sorry. This episode starts off the new opening, which you guys do not get to see because I am going to hopefully avoid copyrights with it. And yeah, the students start heading to class after, starting to live in the dorms, obviously. And well, they're going to start learning about finishing moves, which I had no idea about before this episode. And they explained, what a finishing move is. A move that's going to almost guarantee you victory, essentially, against a villain. And it makes sense, and they have to actually go to one of the warehouse buildings in one of the gym areas, I guess you would call it, for training on working on those finishing moves. And Cementos is there as well because he has to create different places for each person to, work on their finishing moves on. As for Midoriya, he's going to have a bit of a hard time with it because not only is, how do you make a finishing move with one for all? That's the problem. And also the fact that he can't really use his arms anymore because of the damage that he took. I think when he fought Muscular is what happened. But anyway, yeah, he can't use his arms, so he's going to have a hard time, fighting still. And so he ends up, watching some of the other people working on their stuff, like Uraraka's trying to work on being able to handle making her stuff float, which is a good one. Bakugo is working on ways to use his explosion powers in new ways, like kind of concentrating it a bit and firing as like a beam, for example. That's one thing he's working on. I'm not sure what Todoroki's working on, but those are the ones that I remember. Anyway, Midoriya decides to go to the support group that, made the costumes and see if he can get some things changed because, he obviously can't use he's gonna need braces for his arms to, avoid damaging them more. And as soon as he tries to open the door, explosion. And he gets knocked back, and Uraraka had actually planned on going over there as well to do the same. And when Midoriya, comes to at the explosion, goes, and as soon as he looks up, boom. Chest in the face. And he obviously freaks out over it. Because, well, he hasn't really had much interaction with the female form in any sort of, perverted or intimate way, depending on how you look at it. Because the only interactions he's had is just, talking to his female classmates, and that's it. He hasn't shown any interest in any of them, including Uraraka. Besides the fact that, he gushed over the fact that he talked to a girl on the phone, but that's just him. He's, like I said, he was nerdy way back when. He kind of still is. And he's still not used to having interactions with girls. So, of course, he's going to freak out and gush over it. Ugh, excuse me. Sorry. I just got done eating dinner. And anyway, the woman in question was Hatsume. And he lets her and what was it? Pile driver? No, power loader. Power loader. I'm sorry, I got the names mixed up. Yeah, those two, he went and told those two about, wanting to make changes to his costumes. And Hatsume gets right to work on stuff. And ends up causing more of a mess. But, I guess she's passionate about that sort of thing, which makes sense, considering she calls her gadgets her babies. So, anyway, Ida comes in as well, wanting to do the same thing, make changes to his costumes. And Midoriya actually gets an idea from something Hatsume said about if you can't fight with your arms, fight with your feet. Or fight with your legs or something like that. Something like that, she said. And All Might actually shows up while everybody's working on their training. And, talks to Aizawa, finds out how things are going. And while Bakugo's working on one of his abilities, his new finishing move, he calls it an armor-piercing shot, which makes sense because it looks like a firing a laser beam of explosion. His explosion into a beam into the cement, the rock that's in front of him, and it's called armor-piercing shot, so yeah. And he gets excited because, he got it to work, but part of the rock falls off and starts falling towards All Might. And Midoriya actually jumps in and destroys the rock with his leg. He's got a new style, essentially. And what did he call it? His shoot style? Don't ask me why. But yeah, he's got new arm braces on his arms and new footwear that not only gives him, I guess, it helps him out in strength and it does a little bit more damage when he makes impact. So yeah. I think that's the main stuff that happened in this episode. If I've forgotten anything, please let me know. Because, obviously I want to be able to engage with you guys. And I hope you enjoyed this. Because hopefully by this point you have already gone and watched the reaction. So, I will see you all next time.